السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. قال سيد الإمام النووي رحمه الله تعالى ونفعنا الله به وبعلومه بكم سائر المسلمين أجمعين، كتابه رياض الصالحين في باب الصبر. وعن عطاء بن أبي رباح قال قال ابن عباس رضي الله عنهما: ألا أريك امرأة من أهل الجنة؟ فقلت بلى. قال: هذه المرأة السوداء أتت النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم فقالت: إني أسرع وإني أتكشف فادعو الله تعالى لي. قال: إن شئت صبرت ولك الجنة، وإن شئت دعوت الله أن يعافيك. فقالت: أصبر. فقالت: إني أتكشف فادعو الله لي ألا أتكشف، فدعا لها. متفق عليه. Firstly, the art of dua. Okay, يعني sometimes we feel ourselves that those who have acceptance of dua, they are going to change their life to the best, and the best not according to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala standard, best of our standard, which is completely not the case. And here it's very well shown, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is a mercy. His dua, generally speaking, is going to be accepted. That woman seek his dua for epilepsy, and the Prophet ﷺ gave her the choice of being cured, of it, or having the heaven, and she had the choice to have the heaven. And this, like a message for me, tell me that these people, they are interested in heaven and nothing else, okay? But they are interested about their religion, because she had a problem whenever she had this attack, of epilepsy, that certain portion of her body may be uncovered, and she asked the Prophet ﷺ to make dua for her not to have these areas uncovered. When you look at it fuqaha-wise, many scholars tell you are excused, but she had much more concern, about her religion, and that's why she asked the Prophet ﷺ for these matters. Again, this is something hated, epilepsy, and when the price of it is going to be heaven, hopefully that those people, if they are affected and they have the same attitude as that woman she had, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward them with heaven, and this is for all of us, to have a message that even the matter that we hate, or we don't like, or we feel sorry about it, or we feel sad about it, or depressed, or anything of that matter, maybe good for us, If it's not only for the one who has problems, he would like to die. The one who has very unique and great life, he doesn't like to die. And this is by itself a problem, okay? And as the Prophet ﷺ said in that hadith, when أحب لقاء الله أحب الله لقاءه من كره لقاء الله كره الله لقاءه. Whoever interested, in meeting with Allah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves to meet with him, and vice versa. So here you have many factors, I'm not telling you this is the only factor that we have. You have many factors, may play a role in this life. I think the experience of everyone, including myself, that we have in this life, the different patterns, but the point that we differ in it, which is the most important one, to have confidence in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and relate this to something. It's maybe permitted, to have it as such, but don't accuse Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وعن أبي عبد الرحمن عبد الله بن مسعود رضي الله عنه قال: كأني أنظر إلى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يحكي نبيا من الأنبياء صلوات الله وسلامه عليهم ضربه قومه فأدموه ويمسح الدم عن وجهه يقول: اللهم اغفر لقومي فإنهم لا يعلمون. متفق عليه. this give you very strange, for us, very strange attitude when you have someone treat you badly and you are going to respond with very good response of it, and this is when it comes from a prophet. And I think many interpreters, they said even the Prophet had this experience, when it comes from our prophet or from any prophet, it's like a message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as a reminder for everyone that this is the case in this life. It's too great subhanahu wa ta'ala as a Lord, and I'm speak about I'm too bad, as a servant of him subhanahu wa ta'ala. Inshallah, this is going to be the expectation in the hereafter. Move to next hadith. وعن أبي سعيد وأبي هريرة رضي الله عنهم عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال ما يصيب المسلم من نصب ولا وصب ولا هم ولا حزن ولا أذى ولا غم حتى الشوكة يشاكها إلا كفر الله بها من خطاياه متفق عليه. والوصب المرض. يعني here while صلى الله عليه وسلم many of those trivial, negative or hated matters, that may happen, even when you have the thorn, in your hand, which is painful, this is going to take away some of the wrong actions, and this is really, for such person like me, may not care a lot, but Sayyidina Abu Bakr did care about it a lot, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, "Man ya'mal su'an yujza bih," and whoever is going to have wrong deed is going to be penalized or has some response regarding it. And the Sayyidina Abu Bakr complained to the Prophet, "Ya Rasulullah, qata'at zahri," and this as if it had cut, or have a heavy burden on my back, and the Prophet gave the good news to Sayyidina Abu Bakr and to us, even though we did not have that concern, but we got the benefit of the concern of Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. He told him, "You, Ya Abu Bakr, and the believers, they are going to be penalized in this life. The other, they are going to be penalized, the hereafter." And you may look at those mentioned in this particular hadith that I have read, as a penalty from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for certain. We have many, of those wrong actions that we have. وعن مسعود رضي الله عنه قال دخلت على النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وهو يوعك فقلت يا رسول الله إنك توعك وعكا شديدا قال أجل إني أوعك كما يوعك رجلان منكم قلت ذلك أن لك أجرين قال أجل ذلك كذلك ما من مسلم يصيبه أذى شوكة فما فوقها إلا كفر الله بها سيئاته كما تحط الشجرة ورقها متفق عليه. الوعك مغص الحمى وقيل الحمى. And this goes with what have been mentioned before, that the most one to be tested in this life, the prophets, even in sickness and disease, they are going to experience or have it, doubled, as mentioned in one hadith, or much more worse than what we experience, even as Sayyidah Aisha said, the death of the Prophet ﷺ, when he had the death, it was quite severe and quite heavy on him sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this is just to tell us that, what I understand, that the Prophet ﷺ did not change his confidence in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and this should be our attitude toward whatever. But we should ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for afiyah, to save us of those of many of these negative matters, and I should remind myself and the other, إن لله عبادا يحييهم في عافية ويميتهم في عافية ويدخلهم الجنة في عافية. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will provide them with good life, good death, afiyah, and good hereafter. And this reminds me of this dua given by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allahumma inni as'aluka 'ishatan naqiyya wa mitatan sawiyya wa maradan ghayra mukhzin wa la fadih. This is just to 'ishatan naqiyya, to have pure life, mitatan sawiyya, to have straight way of death, because all of us, we are going to die. Some of us, they are going to die in very tremendous or very pain matter, this the other, may Allah subhanahu make all of us, not as such, and then you have your end, in the hereafter. اللهم إني أسألك عيشة نقية وميتة سوية ومردا غير مخزٍ ولا فاضح. وعن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من يريد الله به خيرا يصب منها رواه البخاري وضبط يصب بفتح الصاد وكسرها. That means when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to give, and this is completely opposite of the look of most people, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to upgrade or give someone, massive reward, he's going to have some negative or some unhappy event, in this life, As I said, this is completely opposite to most of our thought. The other point, this mentioned in another hadith, I'm not quite sure if it's going to come or not, that the person, he has certain level, in the heaven, his deeds did not reach that level, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tests him with all of those matters like sickness, disease or other things, just to upgrade his level, to reach it. We mentioned yesterday about the darajat. You have many factors in your hand, and as this hadith mentioned, you have many factors of the darajat, they are not in your hand, So that's why you should ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala of raf'a darajat, to upgrade your level, مع العفو والعافية. وعن أنس رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا يتمنين أحدكم الموت لضر أصابه فإن كان لابد فاعلا فليقل اللهم أحيني ما كانت الحياة خيرا لي وتوفني إذا كانت الوفاة خيرا لي. متفق عليه. Again, this is people, when they have some of these negative matter, the first thing come to their mind, to die. Okay, and some of them, this is still the exception, but it happens that some of them they think about suicide. Some of them they commit suicide. Here, as when you are in the most or the happiest, position, you should be as such. When you have full confidence in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you will relate it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Not stop speaking, no. Say to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if the life is better to me, let me live more, If the death is better to me, let me die. Okay? If you are that interested, in death, this is the most important point, of expressing it. Why not more than this? Because the Prophet ﷺ, in another hadith, he said, as long as you live here, you are going to be given more hasanat, and you name it, that the believer, خيركم من طال عمره وحسن عمله, those who have long life, and very good deeds, in that regard. This is what lesson I get from it, That's mean this is our only opportunity, to reach our destination. This is the only opportunity that was given. What do you mean by opportunity? The time. Okay, the most important factor now we have in our hand is time. We may be changed. We may be helped by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to take some of those negative or sayyi'at we have. We may gain much more hasanat. We may change our position. We may some of those great people, they used to say, perhaps the point that is going to make me in the heaven, I haven't done it yet. We should care a lot, about that point. And even this mentions some ahadith, perhaps I don't remember exactly, that the people of heaven, when they meet with each other, they'll say, do you remember that meeting that we have in this life? This what make us, reach this. You see, here, what I'm trying to say, in this life, you are going to be exposed to many, many matters, you may not be that, enthusiastic about some of these points that we have, which may be the most important thing in your life. Or if we want to put it in another way, you have certain turn point in your life, and one of these turn points may lead you completely to heaven, and the people of heaven, they are going to remind each other that you remember that day. This will enable us, to enter the heaven. وعن أبي عبد الله خباب بن الأرات رضي الله عنه قال شكونا إلى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم متوسد بردة له في ظل الكعبة فقلنا ألا تستنصر لنا ألا تدعو لنا فقال قد كان من قبلكم يؤخذ الرجل فيحفر له في الأرض فيجعل فيها ثم يؤتى بالمنشار فيوضع على رأسه فيجعل نصفين ويمشط بأمشاط الحديد ما دون لحمه وعظمه ما يصد ذلك عن دينه والله ليتمن الله هذا الأمر حتى يسير الراكب من صنعاء إلى حضرموت لا يخاف إلا الله والذئب على غنمه ولكنكم تستعجلون رواه البخاري وفي رواية وهو متوسد بردة وقد لقينا من المشركين شدة. This speak about very severe and significant portion of the life of the Prophet ﷺ when they were physically, have nothing much, to defend themselves, and have been tortured and hurted, by the mushrik. Some people at that point, they may think that or feel that this is going to last forever. Now when we read it, how long did it last? They immigrated to Medina, many things has been changed, then they got rich, they got money, they got this, they got that, many of them, this is to tell all of us, whenever we have any problem, we feel ourselves as if this is going to be the end of our life and that's it, but as the Prophet ﷺ said at that hadith at the end of it, وَلَكِنَّكُمْ تَسْتَعْجِلُونَ. Humankind, out of his nature, he want to have these matters, come quickly, and doesn't have the patience, to wait, to be. Don't misunderstand me. Scream to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, cry to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, beg Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but in your heart, you shouldn't have this as a feeling, that this is, shouldn't be despaired of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, shouldn't feel that this is that's it, and the game is over, there's one hadith, عَجِبَ اللَّهُ مِنْ قُنُوطِ عِبَادِهِ وَقُرْبِ غَيْرِهِ. That's mean Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala surprised, or the other hadith laughed, at that the servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they will be despaired, and this may happen to anyone who was put, under really bad, very bad circumstances. They will be despaired, and the change of Allah has been well prepared, because you don't know the unseen, okay, that you have it coming, and you are going to be in that particular moment completely despaired of it. We have a lot of examples. I think you have a lot of examples, of it. And as here you have some ghaib mentioned by the Prophet ﷺ, that particular hadith, how he was quite confident, and what amazed me, the confidence of the Prophet ﷺ never changed from day number 1 till day number, the last day. He was quite confident that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to give the victory and superiority and to the Muslim over the others, and even in some stages, of that, the Muslims, they were in the weakest stage, they don't have anything of the power, that we compete with each other in this life. وعن مسعود رضي الله عنه قال لما كان يوم حنين آثر رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ناسا في القسمة فأعطى الأقرع بن حابس 100 من الإبل وأعطى عيينة من حصن مثل ذلك وأعطى ناسا من أشراف العرب وآثرهم يومئذ في القسمة فقال رجل الله إن هذه قسمة ما عدل فيها وما أريد فيها وجه الله فقلت والله لأخبرن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فأتيته فأخبرته بما قال فتغير وجهه حتى كان كالصرف ثم قال فمن يعدل إذا لم يعدل الله ورسوله. ثم قال يرحم الله موسى قد أوذي بأكثر من هذا فصبر فقلت لا جرم لا أرفع إليه بعدها حديثا متفق عليه. وقوله كالصرف هو بكسر الصاد المهملة وصبغ أحمر. All of us, we love the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Many of us, they look at him as was too lucky, which is the case, okay, and has very happy life, which is the case, okay, but we tend to forget the harm which was done to him sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay, and I'm sorry to tell you, perhaps this is one of the worst, when you have the surrounding, they start to speak badly, or to criticize some points, of him sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and that's what happened, in this particular hadith. And we see how patient was the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he tried to remember the previous prophets, and this is a lesson for us, these prophets, and the companion and the other righteous people, they are much better than me. That's why whenever I have such a negative matter, I should remember them, and try to match myself, according to them. وعن أنس رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا أراد الله بعبده الخير عجل له العقوبة في الدنيا وإذا أراد بعبده شر أمسك عنه بذنبه حتى يوافي به يوم القيامة. وقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم إن عظم الجزاء مع عظم البلاء وإن الله تعالى إذا حب قوما ابتلاهم فمن رضي فله الرضا ومن سخط فله السخط. رواه الترمذي وقال حديث حسن. This is the rule of Allah, but we learn from the other hadith, don't ask it. Okay? Yani here is when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to save someone, He may give him something negative, in this life to save him in the hereafter. Whenever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala work against anyone, he will be saved, completely saved in this life, to have everything bad for him, well prepared, in the hereafter. Then as narrated Sahih Muslim, the Prophet ﷺ visited a sick person among his companions, and he was badly affected, and the Prophet ﷺ asked him, do you make any dua? And that one said, yes, Ya Rasulullah. I say, oh Allah, whatever you want to punish me with, punish me in this life, And he said, no, don't say so. The Prophet ﷺ instructed him to say, رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ. Yani here, it may sound contradict with the other hadith, but it doesn't contradict at all. Here is your belief. You may be affected by something of these matters, but don't make you a man, or strong one, and don't ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to have it done for you, because we don't tolerate this when it's the other point, that whenever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves some people, is going to test them, and this has been mentioned in many ahadith, that the signal of the love from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is by test or bala. Okay, the signal of the love from the Prophet ﷺ is poverty, to be poor. Okay, here what is quite strong, فَمَنْ رَضِيَ فَلَهُ الرِّضَى وَمَنْ سَخِطَ فَلَهُ السَّخَطِ. I got it, and perhaps other people they will be asked, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is Allah pleased with us or not? I myself ask some people sometimes, and the answer to it, look at yourself. If you are happy or pleased with Allah, that means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala pleased with you. If you are not happy, that means Allah is not happy with you. Okay, that's why we should be too happy. That's why we said in Burda yesterday, روّئ بها قلبنا. Okay, to have this fine and nice matter, nice experience, in the heart. Why? Because this is this is a matter. Many people, they don't pay significant attention to it, but it's very important to feel that you are happy, with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. To feel that you are confident in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. One of the famous shuyukh, he used to have very old woman, above 90, his sheikh. I think the woman, they hate this much more than the males, but both sides, they hate to get that old, and that woman, when she was above 90, she is going to have a dove, and be too happy. How great is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to enable me, to make me His servant, to make me this. You see, this is something which is negative for most of us, She look at it from the positive side. And this should be, really this is warning signal for me. مَنْ رَضِيَ لَهُ الرِّضَى وَسَخِطَ فَلَهُ السَّخَطُ. Okay? When you are happy, this is good sign that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is happy with you. When you are unhappy, inshallah none of the audience, that the one who is unhappy, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is unhappy with him. Okay? That this, by its way, it tells you about what you are concerned about. Okay? Imam Ibn Ata'Allah, what did he say? لِيَقِلَّ مَا تَفْرَحْ بِهِ يَقِلْ مَا تَحْزَنْ عَلَيْهِ. Okay? If I am interested, in that car, or this furniture, or that child that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave me, or this or that, I'm not going to be happy. When I got it, I have a lot of concern that, or got him, or it, I'm going to have a lot of concern that this may gone away one day. Okay? And when it do go, which is the case of this life, I'm going to be unhappy again. Okay? When you leave it to Allah, which is the case, this is the reality of it, whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala designated to you, you are going to be. And I mentioned this story, perhaps I should remind your people, I haven't mentioned it in this session or in this course, that Sayyidina Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas, a famous companion, used to be looked at as has acceptance of all of his dua when he makes supplication to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is quite well known, to the people in his time. He used to reside in Medina Munawwara. When he went to Mecca to make Umrah, you have large queue, standing there, waiting for Sa'd to make dua. This one wants to increase his salary, the other one wants to have better of life, and the third one, and a smart young, among those people, he observed Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas. He hardly see his way, they did not have eyeglasses, and he said, how come, uncle, you make dua to all of these people, and you hardly see, make dua for yourself. He said, listen, nephew, whatever is more beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is whatever is more beloved to me. You see? All of these people, the large queue, I don't know if I should say, they sounded unhappy with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But Sayyidina Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas is quite happy with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He doesn't want any change. You see? وعن أنس رضي الله عنه قال كان ابن لأبي طلحة رضي الله عنه يشتكي فخرج أبو طلحة فقبض الصبي فلما رجع أبو طلحة رضي الله عنه قال ما فعل ابني قالت أم سليم وهي أم الصبي هو أسكن ما كان فقربت إليه العشاء فتعشى ثم أصاب منها فلما فرغ قالت واروا الصبي فلما أصبح أبو طلحة أتى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فأخبره فقال أعرستم الليلة أو أعرستم الليلة قال نعم قال اللهم بارك لهما فولدت غلاما فقال لي أبو طلحة احمله حتى تأتي به النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وبعثت معه بتمرات فقال أمعه شيء قال نعم تمرات فأخذها النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم فمضغها ثم أخذها من فيه فجعلها في الصبي ثم حنكه وسماه عبد الله متفق عليه. وفي رواية البخاري قال ابن عيينة فقال رجل من الأنصار فرأيت 9 أولاد كلهم قد قرأ القرآن من أولاد عبد الله المولود. وفي رواية المسلم مات ابن لأبي طلحة من أم سليم فقالت لأهلها لا تحدثوا أبا طلحة بابني حتى أكون أنا أحدثه. فجاء فقربت إليه عشاء فأكل وشرب، ثم تصنعت له أحسن ما كانت تصنع قبل ذلك، فوقع بها. فلما أن رأت أنه قد شبع وأصاب منها قالت: يا أبا طلحة، أرأيت لو أن قوما أعاروا عريتهم أهل بيت فطلبوا عريتهم ألهم أن يمنعوهم؟ قال: لا. فقالت: فاحتسب ابنك. قال: فغضب ثم قال: تركتني حتى إذا تلطخت ثم أخبرتني بابني. فانطلق حتى أتى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فأخبره بما كان. فقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم: بارك الله في ليلتكما. قال: فحملت. قال: وكان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم في سفر وهي معه، وكان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا أتى مدينة من سفر لا يطرقها طروقا، فدنوا من المدينة فضربها المخاض فاحتبس عليها أبو طلحة، وانطلق رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. قال يقول أبو طلحة: إنك لتعلم يا ربي أنه يعجبني أن أخرج مع رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا خرج، وأدخل معه إذا دخل، وقد احتبست بما ترى. تقول أم سليم: يا أبا طلحة، ما أجد الذي كنت أجد، فانطلق. فانطلقنا وضربها المخاض حين قدما، فولدت غلاما. فقالت لي أمي: يا أنس، لا يرضع أحد حتى تغدو به على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. فلما أصبح احتملته فانطلقت به إلى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. وذكر تمام الحديث. This is one of the heaviest or most severe thing that may happen, in the life when you miss our children, and even though that great woman, she missed her child, and she still have the full confidence in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and her behavior was according to this. And what was the substitute from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this life? I'm not speaking about the hereafter. So the substitute, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave her another son, and from that particular son you have 9 of them, who were a great person, You see how the substitute. I'm sorry to tell you, nowadays you have some people, they criticize Sayyidina al-Khadr. How did he kill that boy, and be in his position, and try to estimate or judge yourself, at that point. Yani here, what I'm trying to say, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has his soldiers, they work in behalf of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And one of these soldiers is Sayyidina al-Khadr, and he's going to work in behalf of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We when criticize or speak or say this or that, we are out of it, We are speaking, we are hired by ourselves, We speak in behalf of ourselves, and this has nothing to do with this. Those great people, like that particular woman who made her husband made him happy, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rewarded her with having another son as a substitute of the first one with different quality. And this should be the expectation, whenever you have any of these matters. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save all of us, but whenever any one of us has as such, he should have full confidence in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The second point here, you see, what do you pick up from this hadith? The point that I have been speaking up a lot about it, which perhaps I'm not that good practitioner of doing it. Sayyidina Abu Talha had a problem, because he was stuck, outside Medina, and he loved to enter Medina with the Prophet ﷺ, get out of Medina with the Prophet ﷺ. Ya Allah, he spoke right away. He opened the channel with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He did not tell anyone, and he's going to stay with his wife, Ya Allah, I would like to enter Medina with the Prophet ﷺ. Okay. And for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala it's not difficult, okay? The labor stopped, and he was able to enter them. See, it's very simple. We tend to feel it that it's too complicated. Why? Because we don't behave the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to behave. But when it comes to these matters, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in one, I don't know if it's hadith Qudsi or some in the old book, Kulli kama urid, akullaka kama turid. Okay? It's a rule, common rule, Be the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you to be, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to be the way you want him to be. And you find it here, by Abu Talha. Okay, Abu Talha has certain need from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He did not complain to anyone. He just apply his complaint to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and right away Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala stop the labor. That's it, it's not that complicated, and really, I cannot speak a lot, but I feel inside my heart you have a lot of room, of stopping there, and thinking about it, about his knowledge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, about his confidence in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, about his reliance on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and on the top of all of these matters, his relation with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You see? وعن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال ليس الشديد بالسرعة إنما الشديد الذي يملك نفسه عند الغضب متفق عليه والسرعة بضم الصاد فتح الراء وأصله عند العرب من يسرع الناس كثيرا. And this form, when they say فعل, you have it in the Quran, وَيْلٌ لِكُلِّ هُمَزَةٍ لُمَزَةٍ, those who excessively practice this. You have some people, they are going to be affected by this. They call them sur'a, humza, lumza. Okay? And those who are affected by this excessive work, they will have the same structure, with instead of making fatha, of the second letter, we are going to have it sakin. Okay, and here this hadith give you no definition of matter which was used in Arabic language, but the Prophet ﷺ gave it different definition. We had many of them yesterday of that particular hadith, al-tuhur, shatr iman, as-salatu nur, as-sabr duya, and we have one here. Surah, I think up till now, many of the young persons, they went to build their body, in very good way, and we beat up, everyone, and defeat everyone. And the Prophet ﷺ says, this is not the tough one. The tough one, the one who control himself. Okay, has a control especially for anger. This is the tough one, and this is different definition that our current definition, and we should look after it. I'm not telling you don't build your body, don't be that tough, no, but you should look after, as you may see it here, you have the physical component and you have the spiritual component. The physical component, all of us, by one way or another, we are going to take care. We are going to admire a lot, the spiritual one, we don't care about it. Okay? Now I remember, all of you people perhaps they don't know. One of our friends, back in Syria, whatever you do to him or joke with him, he's going to tolerate it, well. I have other friends, in Syria, they are not as such. Okay? This is, in my view, this is the shadid, okay? Why? Because he has complete control of himself, And I think most of your audience or more, they have the same experience, okay? Either among their children, either among their friends, or whatever, And to be honest with you, when I have concern about myself, when I love myself, whenever I see such thing, I'll tell listen, this person is better than you in this matter. He handled it much better than you. If someone is going to tell me, no, I am Sheikh, I am Hafiz Quran, what you are speaking about? You are speaking about all different subjects which are not related to this matter, okay? Let's assume that you have all good characters and one bad character. No one did ask you to speak about the good character that you have. And the Prophet ﷺ gave example of it. He said that a person with 9 good characters, and one bad character, which is anger, or high temper, this is going to spoil the 9. And the one who has 9 bad characters, and one good one, that he has more tolerance, and more acceptance, this is going to cover up the 9 bad characters. Okay. And here we are not speaking only about the quantity, we are speaking about the quality. Okay, not all characters they are same. They are the same. We should look after ourselves. We should change those bad characters. We should make them good characters, But whenever, even, I don't look at it as good idea. Even if you feel yourself that you are superior than so and so, but when he had some behavior or some character or some statement or which is never come to your mind, you tell yourself, because you are interested about yourself and you love yourself. Listen, in this case, so and so was better than you. I know about a person. He used to believe in one of the famous awliya, and he heard this comment come from that wali that he really believe in it, that your brother is better than you. Rather than being angry and don't go to that sheikh and that's it, what did he do? He starts searching to see in what matter his brother is better than him and try to correct himself. And he told me that he took it from where? From the Quran. You see what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran? الذين آتيناهم الكتاب يعرفونه كما يعرفون أبناءهم الذين خسروا أنفسهم فهم لا يؤمنون. That means you have certain people, they have been given a good, great knowledge from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They know the Prophet or they know the Quran the way they know their children. And they are losers. This is Meccan revelation. I imagine if I am there, rather than say, what is this Quran, this really bad Quran? No. Say, what's wrong with me, I am one included in this verse, what's wrong? No one of them did care about it, okay? You have in the Madani revelation was الذين آتيناهم الكتاب يعرفون أنفسهم يعرفونه كما يعرفون أبناءهم وإن فريقا منهم ليكتمون الحق وهم يعلمون. Okay? يعني here the first one was 50-50, يعني put a touch, of criticism and a touch, of warning, whereas the Madani one came to criticize these people. And when you really care about yourself, should be your attitude. We hate advices nowadays, okay? I was speaking with some of my friends, this one. We hate to live with each other. Really, we are in very bad shape. Why? Because we don't tolerate anyone, okay? We don't tolerate to live with each other. They asked me, this morning, is it okay to have a dog, at home? What does it mean for me? For me, it means that I cannot live with humankind to tell me I would like them. I'm going to bring an animal and live with an animal, because that animal is not going to tell me, go or bring this to me or that. And I'm going to be servant of that animal, I'm going to serve food, whenever there's some dirt, I'm going to take it. I'm the servant of that animal. But don't tell me about humankind. I'm not interested, to sit with humankind. And this for me, is the lowest way, of undevelopment. Okay? I told you yesterday or the day before how Sayyidina Abu Darda react to sleep. Okay, I want to pray. Sleep. Okay, he went to sleep. Okay, these are the people. When he has an advice, tell me. Let's speak. Sorry. Did Sayyidina Abu Darda improve after that or not? No, he improved dramatically. Why? Because the Prophet ﷺ was pleased with him after that. Okay? He used to have certain behavior, certain attitude, which is not accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not accepted by the Prophet ﷺ. And when Sayyidina Abu Darda interfered, this brought the appreciation from Allah and the appreciation from the Prophet ﷺ. We are bad, We don't want anyone to touch us, or speak with us. Okay, that's it. Okay, that's mean I want to stay as bad as I am. Okay, I don't like anyone to speak about me. Okay, well, Sayyidina Umar al-Khattab. Who is Sayyidina Umar al-Khattab? Umar al-Khattab was given the good news by the Prophet that is one of the people of heaven. Okay, and that's mean he has great marks, in the hereafter, is successful. He used to say, Rahim Allah mra'an ahda ilayya uyubi. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring the mercy to anyone, show me my deficiency. Why? Because he had a lot of concern about himself. Okay? He's interested to hear from everyone about his deficiencies. Don't tell me about my specialty, I want to hear about my deficiency. One day, I'm going to mention it, okay? One day, Sayyidina Umar al-Khattab climbed the pulpit. He starts speaking about those lousy stories, we used to be in Jahiliyyah, I have only piece of clothes, and my sister standing next to me, and when the sun is quite severe, I'm going to take away that piece of clothes, put it in my sister, and be completely naked, and all those lousy stories. When he went down, one of the companions, how come, Amir al-Mu'mineen, you just put yourself down when you have this khutbah? He said, that's what I meant. I felt some pride, inside myself. I want to put myself down. I went to the pulpit, this was the public announcement, for them, and he starts speaking about himself in this way, to put himself down. Okay, and here, here the control. Okay, if I have very good body, and I'm going to defeat everyone, I would like everyone, to speak about it, But when I have my temper, I'm going to hurt everyone, and I don't like anyone to give me any advice. This is completely wrong. Okay, why? Because firstly, this physical quality that you have is not going to last forever. At maximum may last 10 years or so. Okay, then you'll get old. Then the other one is spiritual quality, and it's going to last forever for you. Firstly. Secondly, we spoke about mountains a lot, about these mountains, of hasanat coming on al-qiyamah. And for sure you are very good practitioner, you are going to have those heavy and those mountains, and the one who has high temper, he's going to speak about something that he did not like to speak about. He may behave in some behavior that he did not like to behave. He may act in some actions that he did not like. All of these matter, they may hurt the others, and the others, they are going to be enemies, and the hereafter they will come, complain to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they are going to take from either from your mountains, or of hasanat, or if you don't have these mountains, they will give you some mountains, of their sayyi'at. This is the reality of it. The Prophet ﷺ did advise us to work otherwise. اتقوا الله وأصلحوا ذات بينكم فإن الله يصلح بين عباده يوم القيامة. Be fearful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and try to mend the relation with the other. That's why really, when I remember that person, of mine, I really admire him a lot. I don't look at myself as good, as him, and controlling myself. Okay, and here this hadith speak about the control. Okay, when we control each other, we are going to have much more open channel. We may live with each other. We may sit in one convention. We may go picnic. We may go. This is I call it adab al-ikhtilaf. Okay, my friends, they want to go in picnic. Okay, I love pizza. They love barbecue. Okay. If they are going to do barbecue, I'm not going to attend their picnic. No, ya Sayyidi. Consider that this is exception, Go back home, eat barbecue, the amount you want to eat, But when you go with them, in this picnic, put yourself down. You are not going to eat poison when you eat barbecue. You see? I'm sorry to tell you, everyone is quite determined, about himself. Okay? I'm not going to put myself down for anyone. No. There are certain people in this life, it's the first step. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala instructed you to put yourself down. You should put yourself down. Okay? I told many times, it's great, but not the greatest, when you put yourself down to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why it's not the greatest? Because when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala manifests himself to anyone, even the non-believer or the other object, they will be down, regardless. But when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks you to put yourself down for a humankind like you, or maybe may have less money than you or less intellect than you, here it comes the greatness to show your obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Namely, you read it in Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, put yourself down, to your parents. Okay? Some may argue, my parents, they have Alzheimer. My parents, they are poor. They do not have good judgment. They don't have... Okay. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, put yourself down. You should put yourself down. And this is the way of expressing yourself, that I am down because of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is for you, is going to be the most honorable position. And I'm sorry to tell you, nowadays, it reached even the Prophet ﷺ. Some people, whenever the Prophet ﷺ prays, no, we don't accept this, Where is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Where is Allah? You have been forgetting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for 20, 30 years. Now, when the Prophet ﷺ was praised, you remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this was expressed by who? I'm not telling you that they are non-believers. No. But this was expressed by the non-believer. What did they say? The people of Sayyidina Nuh, what did they tell him? مَا هَذَا إِلَّا رَجُلٌ يُرِيدُ أَنْ يَتَفَضَّلَ عَلَيْكُمْ. Which is completely wrong. It is not the case. That's what they thought. They thought that this is a man want to be superior on you. Okay? Which is not the case. The Prophet ﷺ, when he showed up, with the Risala, he lost all of his fame. He used to be called As-Sadiq Al-Amin. They called him magician, liar, poet, and kahin, you name it, crazy. All of them, you see, he lost his house, he lost his city, he lost his wife, and you name it, And as described by one of his wives, never take revenge for himself. And this came from his wife, not from a person sat down with him for an hour. When I say his wife, here you speak about a person knows him from the inner and the outer. She said, never. The Prophet never take revenge for himself. Okay? And we are followers of him. And the Prophet ﷺ, what did he say? خَيْرُكُمْ خَيْرُكُمْ لِأَهْلِهِ. The best among your people, those who get along with the spouse, their spouse. Why? Because this is the training field that I have, okay? I'm going to deceive my shuyukh, deceive everyone by telling them I'm good person, try to see. But when I'm by my nature, back at home, for sure my wife is going to know a lot of things, about me, which is secret or which is private, which is not to be expressed, And that's why the Prophet ﷺ said, خَيْرُكُمْ خَيْرُكُمْ لِأَهْلِهِ. The best among you, those who are the best, in their family. And that's why, I was speaking with a person, about a famous sheikh that many people, they call him kafir. And I told him, that person who called him kafir, he brought a phrase, which for me means a lot of praising that person, even though he did not mean it. What did he say? He said, I haven't seen anyone join or accompany that person without looking at him as very high person. I told him this is a praise of that person. Why? Because when you join or accompany a person, you are going to know his deficiencies, and his greatness. And when he say, I haven't seen anyone without praising, or that means that person is great. And that's what's being summarized by Sayyidina al-Khattab. When he asked about a person, one of the audience, he told him, this is great person. He said, you may look at him, praying in the mosque, or doing this. Have you have any trouble with him? He said, no. Have you got married to one of his women? No. Have you have any money problem with him? No. That means you don't know him. Okay? And this, you have certain matter, certain attitude, I may change, I may adjust. But I cannot go away of my nature all the time. I should go back to my nature. And that's why my wife is going to be the best one, to know my nature and my deficiencies. And that's why the Prophet ﷺ said, خَيْرُكُمْ خَيْرُكُمْ لِأَهْلِهِ. And that's why we have it nowadays among many people, humankind, and the Muslims, they start to be affected. Take it by number, the divorce rate is higher or less? It's much higher. Why? Because we don't tolerate each other. We don't get along with each other. You see, this hadith, the last hadith I read, speak about tolerance. Okay? And all of us, without exception, we should find a way of improving our tolerance. Okay? And that's what meant by this hadith. And I'm sorry, since I mentioned about divorce, that the most one going to be affected by it is who? The children. And we don't care about our children, okay? We just care about ourselves, And really we have a real problem, very deep problem, And this tells us that the level of tolerance, for our people, it has reached way down, which I don't like to see as such, I don't know about your people, here, but back in Syria, many of these people, they have their practice, where? In the mosque. Why? Because in the house, he doesn't have any word, He shout in the mosque, Why did you put this here? Why did you put this, that? Let's open this window, okay? Why? I look at myself, I'm not eligible to enter the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I don't have the eligibility. This is great matter, great initiation from Allah to let me enter His house. Then in His house I want to sound like I'm a master, and I'm going to do this or that. No, I'm still servant. One of those great people, in the old days, mentioned by his student, when he want to enter the mosque, he don't feel the eligibility inside himself to enter the mosque. He's going to wait outside at the gate till some of those attend the prayer will enter the mosque, okay, and he will follow him. As if, Ya Allah, I entered your house, not my male self, I'm following this person who is much better than me. And I imagine in these old days, perhaps he may stay for 30 minutes or more, because you don't have a lot of people, attending the mosque, that the number of people, generally speaking, they were much less. And not as crowded as nowadays. And he may wait, this is my imagination, he may wait for 30 minutes, waiting for someone to come and enter the mosque. So please, anyone who is deficient, try to change your attitude. Anyone who is good, at it, teach us how to be good, and thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala a lot, about what has been given to you. Move to next حديث. عن سليمان سرد رضي الله عنه قال كنت جالسا مع النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم ورجلان يستبان وأحدهما قد احمر وجهه وانتفخت أوداجه فقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إني لأعلم كلمة لو قالها لذهب عنه ما يجد لو قال أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ذهب منه ما يجد فقال له إن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال تعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم متفق عليه. Really, to be honest with you, I was not in that time, but I feel sorry. Yani this is the majlis of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You have a quarrel between two persons, and they start speaking badly and shouting, in the presence of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I feel bad about it. Okay, even though I was not in that majlis. You see, this is. Firstly, is wastage of time. Secondly, it's going to show the worst, about that person. And thirdly, we are going to lose, as has been highlighted by some of our shuyukh, we are going to lose the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He brought this hadith which did not come to my attention at all before. تَلَاحَ رَجُلًا فَرُفِعَتْ لَيْلَةِ الْقَدْرِ. See? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala designated certain rule for Laylat al-Qadr, and the Prophet ﷺ was about to clarify these rules, and you will be too happy, to know Laylat al-Qadr for each month of Ramadan or each year, okay? And because of problem between two persons, the all angels, they ran away, and Laylat al-Qadr ran away with them. You see how harmful those matter that we may practice without that responsibility, that we should take care, of them, or whatever, and this is what happened. Here, they started to have this bad behavior in front of the Prophet ﷺ. And the Prophet ﷺ, he bypassed all of these factors that make pain in my heart, and he said, I know the cure of his anger. What is it? To say A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitan, which means that we are going to be influenced badly by the one I told you about yesterday, our enemy, Ash-Shaytan. We are going to be influenced badly. And I think, I don't know if this hadith or something, like a ball, we are going to be out of everything, out of our will, and we are going to be subjected completely to the Shaitan play the way he wants, in us. And that's why we experience, during this period, about certain word that we don't like to be said, or certain behavior that we don't like to behave, or you name it. Why? Because the Shaitan became the master here, the decision maker. You don't have any made of your decision. Your decision is going to be made by the holy Shaitan. Okay, because we highly respect him, a lot. Okay. I'm sorry, here in this particular hadith, they did not go further, Imam Nawawi, but you have hadith that person was told, what the Prophet ﷺ prescribed to him, and he said, am I crazy? Okay, and this is, you may look at it as the bad behavior when you have this, done because out of anger or whatever. And here, what I understand of this hadith and previous hadith, that patience, to be patient, part of it, you should control yourself with it, okay? This is, you call it in Arabic sabr or patient. You should have it for yourself, to control yourself, okay? Whenever you have bad habit, whenever you have bad character or whatever, you should have control. And this is aql. This is the meaning of aql. Why? Because you are intellectual person, you should tie yourself up. This is the meaning, the original meaning of aql. You should tie yourself up whenever you have any of those negative behavior that they may be shown up, and this completely against the thought that given to many of us that we are quite free, we may speak about whatever we want, we may behave this is completely wrong. We should be under the control. Okay, we should control ourselves. If you don't believe me, inshallah Ramadan is coming. You have a glass of water next to you, halal water, not haram. It's not wine, and you are going to control yourself. You are too thirsty, You are going to control yourself because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told you, don't drink this till Maghrib. Okay? I look at Ramadan as a school of training, to train you how you have qualities, to control yourself. One day, when I start my training, here in US, it was Ramadan, and one of these doctors, told the colleague, do you believe that so and so refrain eating and drinking for that long period of time? The message I took from it, that the one who, and all of us, we don't know our strengths. And that's why that person felt that it's impossible to be done. But I'm quite sure that person has the ability to do it. You got my point? And here, one of the benefit of Ramadan, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you to know about your qualities, know about your strengths, how you have the ability to control yourself, how you have the ability to do this, which you may feel before that you are incapable of doing it. Okay? And inshallah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if we reach Ramadan, make us, learn a lot, about this and control ourselves, for Ramadan and for the days come after Ramadan. They told me that we should stop at 3. Shall we receive some questions? No questions? Okay, go ahead.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Imam Ghazali, he would say that the aql should be like a king, a malik, over the nafs. He emphasized that a lot. And I like the wording in this hadith where it says, yamliku nafsa. And I'm wondering if there's other hadith or ayat or something that has wordings like that.
Yani if you mean by aql the correct judgment, to control yourself, you are completely right. The definition was given by the Prophet ﷺ, not to the aql, to the heart. The heart is the king of everything. And the heart is the decision maker. You have question there? Back? Forgot the question. Any other question? Okay. Inshallah, we'll have a break. I don't know how long. Perhaps 10-15 minutes.